is Girl Stop Playin, a weekly show that empowers Black women to stop playing with their potential so they can live a life that they love. I'm Koereyelle, your favorite homegirl, and I'm on a mission to help Black women make the money and get the honey. You can have it all as long as you're willing to work. Welcome back to another episode of the Girl Stop Playin podcast. It's your favorite homegirl, Koereyelle, here to encourage you to stop playing with your potential and start working for what you want in life and in love. You already know that I'm bringing you the information and the conversations to help you make the money and get the honey. You can have it all as long as you are willing to work. And today we have one of my favorite working women in the building. Y'all, I am broadcasting live from Los Angeles with my California girl, Nichole Lynel, in the building.
Hey, honey.
Hi. It's so good to see you.
I know, it's been forever.
So good to have you back. All of the things, I said that when I was preparing for this conversation, I said, okay, my audience does not want me to take a 10-minute stroll down memory lane. So if y'all want to go back through our history, I will link our original podcast episode below and as many artifacts as I possibly can. But Nichole has been such an inspiration over the last, I don't know, since like 2016. I really was preparing for this conversation.
Oh my goodness.
2016, yeah.
That's wild.
And we have just seen and done and experienced and become and evolved, you know, over those years. And so for Girl Stop Playin, I feel like you epitomize the Girl Stop Playin mission, which is all about not playing with your potential. So I want you to introduce yourself, Nichole, who you are today, but then we're going to take a stroll down memory lane because you truly stopped playing with yourself and we are seeing the fruits of it.
Yes, so I am Nichole Lynel, a Los Angeles-based fashion designer, author, and curator of my online store, Shop Nichole Lynel. Also, I feel like I want to be an influencer so bad.
First of all, what more influence do you need than 10K before 10 a.m.? If you can influence people to spend $10,000 before 10 o'clock in the morning on your own website, there's not much more influence.
Yeah, but on my website, I have to do the work. I just want to show other people's stuff.
First of all, Nichole, I get it. It is easier for somebody to give you a check to show out, promote their stuff. However, I just want you to put some respect on your name. The fact that you don't have to put somebody else's brand out there to make money. You literally put your own brand on your own back and you influence people every day. Let's start there, though. Let's start there because I know, this is something I know about you. I know that you've always been the face of your brand, right?
Yes.
But you have tried to stop being the face of your brand. And it just does not work out. Talk about that.
They will not let me. So everyone says like, oh, do I need to be the face of my brand? I'm like, you don't. It's worked for me. And it sounds good in the beginning, okay? It sounds good until it's every day. Like me, I like tacos. I don't want to eat them every day. When you don't feel like it, when you may not want to get up, when you may not want to be the front face and everything, you have to show up no matter what. And I am the epitome of consistency. And if it's not going to be you, it has to be someone, but it is very difficult to do. But it does have it on the other side. It's amazing because one person that I know that I can depend on is me. I'm going to show up and I'm going to show out every time. And I do not have to communicate all the time exactly what I want in a shot. I can do it myself. But I always say, I got this from a dear friend. Hope we can say it here. It's very hard to be the pimp and the hoe. And
expound on that, Nichole.
You're making the calls, you're booking the moments, but you also have to do the work. So on the back end, I have to build the business. I have to go over everything. I have to manage the employees. I have to sign the checks. I have to pay all the invoices. And then I have to turn around and smile for the camera. That is very, very challenging. So I have tried to get models, but my audience is very used to me. And it's gotten to the point where I literally had on a pink dress. She had on a green dress. Y'all.
That green dress wasn't selling, huh?
Why would you do that? I keep trying. So if I can find a Claire Huxtable in her 20s,
that's your girl?
Holla at me.
I can definitely see the gift and the curse in it. I mean, it is truly a gift that you don't have to rely on anybody, that you can I was about to say throw something on, but you definitely are not throwing something on. You are doing productions. For you to be able to do these productions, not have to rely on anybody, like you can show up and be the talent, that is definitely a gift. But if you want a day off, if you're going through something, if you don't feel like it today, you don't really have an opportunity to take the day off. And another side that I know, that you have had to deal with on the personal brand side is just when you are the personal brand, and again, the gift and the curse of the internet, Instagram, all of the things, it's like all of these people love you, but then it's not an equal amount of people, but there are definitely haters that come with
yeah.
it.
And when you're attacked, it's actually you. Your business is your baby. I feel like it's also my name.
Literally.
It's also my real name, no gimmicks. Okay. So when they're attacking it, everyone's like, oh, you can't take it personal as business. Like, no, it's actually my name and it's actually my face. So we talk about thick skin, we talk about mental health, but ooh, y'all are nasty. Like they come for you. Like, I'm like, does this app, like, friend, can we get into it? Does this app?
Let's get into it, because I don't think people talk about this side of the success of the influencer, it's like when you put yourself, you're literally exposing yourself to the good and the bad. And there's so much bad that you usually don't have an opportunity to even talk about, because then people look at you like, well, heavy is the head, or this is what you wanted. And it's like, well, I'm still a human being with feelings.
No, you're like not a human anymore. And it's so easy now with social media. Like nobody would really walk up to you in real life and say these things.
Not a chance.
But I will say, I hate that people think that, and hate is a very strong word, but that's a word where this applies, that people think that certain things are okay, especially if it's like, oh, well, you're getting money or you're putting yourself out there. It's like, nobody deserves this stuff. Like,
and to your point, we are so quick to talk about mental health, but not in the moment. Like we talk about mental health as an afterthought, like, oh, this wouldn't have happened.
Then when someone happens, you want to post all the pictures and you want to do all the things, but you literally will watch someone get dragged and we all laugh and send it around and it's so funny. But till it's you.
How do you deal? Because I be getting back with you are an actual sweet person, like in real life. To the point, though, that I feel like people take advantage of it. So sure. I will, I'm not like cursing people out on the internet or anything, but I do think that because of my, demeanor, people play with you, Nichole. Why do people play with you?
Because I'm nice, because they're not going to say anything. But I will say this. I am a Gemini. And I have a very monotone and a very sick sense of humor. So I'm very small also. Like, I don't really want to fight these people. So what I'm going to say, you're probably going to knock my head off. At the end of the day, I get to go home to my penthouse and be my beautiful self that I have always been. And I'm nice, and that's for me, because being mean and making someone feel bad about themselves, I have definitely been through, I've shared my story. I have been through the ringer, and I know what it feels like to feel low and be depressed and I've done the work in that area. So I don't want to give that to the world. But if you're giving it to me, I can't be in that space. And I'm nice because it feels good. I love making people smile. I love making women feel beautiful. Like, that's not really my area. And I know people do play with me. And I'm not a good cusser outer. I think about it 3 days later in the shower. And I'm like, I should have said. But,
Me too. I'd be thinking real late, but I'll go back. My thing is responding and then blocking you, waiting a little bit and blocking you. Like, I want you to see it, but then you can't respond back to me. Because get out of here. You would never fix your face to say that in real life.
So what used to really bother me is the why. So it's not really what they're saying, because usually what they're saying isn't even true. And most of the time, 100 people could say positive things, but it's that one nasty one that's going to get to you. And usually they go for the jugular, something that you're probably sensitive about. Mm-hmm. It's like they can smell it or something. Or they're making it up and they're hoping enough people get onto it. I feel like one of the things that really encouraged bullying was the fact that the other people can respond to a comment and now like it. So it like amps them up. Mm-hmm. And I like picture their nostrils flaring and they're like or whatever. But I really think that like it's like so sick. Like,
what is your personal like source of support, like in a moment? Because I think, again, we talk about mental health, we talk about therapy, but in the moment, and we can be positive all day, go to yoga in the morning, meditate at night, like we can do all of that. But when somebody hits below the belt, when somebody talks about something like triggers you, what is your de-escalation process? Like, what do you do? Do you tell yourself something? Do you phone a friend? Do you like, because I feel like other women out there deal with things similar, maybe not on the scale, but we still get triggered by things. So what have you found that actually works for you?
So I take my time. Sometimes I think about it. I respond if I want to, but I usually think about their life. Usually when you go to their page, I see their life. Like literally, there was a girl trolling me and she was skating in her kitchen, and her kitchen was like very small. And I'm like, oh my God, my mom would give me a whooping if I was skating in the house first. And second, obviously you can't go outside. Who roller skates in their own kitchen? Like,
Okay, so you go and give yourself
I look at the life,
like,
then,
okay.
But then too, it's just like, if you're doing that, if you're giving nasty to someone else, or I call my friends and I'll respond if I want to, but I always think their life is already bad. You're talking to me from a fake page, or I actually can see your life, and it's usually weird because most happy people are not doing things like that.
This is true. You ever want to get a burner page?
I gave that up. I went to Woman Evolve.
You had a burner page?
I had a burner page. I did. I had a burner
page.
This,
Nichole?
Yes.
Wow, you should have told me.
I never said anything
we
from it.
should
I'm not
be
a
burner
troller.
buddies. Listen, I will. Well, you gave it up. Okay, let me not pull you back into that life. Okay,
but I gave
that
it
should
up.
be a thing though, because you need to be able to clap back at people. Not you particularly, but you should have some way to defend
going
yourself.
to say is going to take it too far, and they're probably going to want to find me, and then it's just going to be like those movies.
I feel like those are the things that people.
But we all know who I'm with, so if I really want to take it there, I could just call him, and he's going to knock.
Are we going to talk
everything over?
Can we talk about relationship stuff? We'll wait.
Course.
Let's pause for that. Because I have so many examples of people playing with you that just get under my skin. I'm like the friend that doesn't want my friend getting taken advantage of. And I feel like, again, because you are so sweet and so genuine, it's like red flags for trash ass people to come play with you. 2 examples. Of course, I'm not going to name any names. I'm not Shay Shay. This is not Cat Williams for real. But I know of 2 specific examples, two people that I could name that I feel like were in your life, close to you. One of them was your ex-business partner that just took advantage of your kindness. How do you regroup, still have trust, still have relationships with women when you have had terrible experiences with women who are close to you?
I will say I'm main character. This is my life. And to me, just for me, being in a space of fighting someone, this is not my personality. I had to talk. I'm surrounded by fighters who all want to fight, just like you, for me. But I will say, like, it's just not me. And it would hurt me to be in that space probably more than trying to build. I couldn't have built what I've built if I was always trying to fight everybody back who had something to say. And when it comes to people, like, I had to forgive them and move on. Like, staying in that space is just not healthy for me. I can't build something beautiful. And I think about people too. So you could go on the internet and I can tell my side of the story, but people are going to want to believe what they want to believe. And especially when it comes to you being a beautiful, successful, articulate, bomb Black woman, they want to believe the worst about you. So I could scream to the top of the hills how wrong this was. If they like the other person, they like them, and they're never going to believe you. So they could sit with that.
It grinds my gears. Ooh, they can sit with it, but I be wanting to tell people. What do you feel, Nichole, was your Girl Stop Playin moment? Because back in 2016, when we met, we had a conversation about you wanting to start doing speaking engagements and getting your business back up. And literally to see like this side, you actually climbed the mountain. Like you were down there looking up like, I want to go there. And I saw you climb that mountain. What do you feel like was your Girl Stop Playin moment? Like, what moment do you feel like was the real motivation to say, okay, I'm going to go from just looking up the mountain, I'm about to start climbing?
I will say all of those things. So to me, I feel like just what we talked about, when people talk about me or talk down to me, or I feel down myself, that gives me motivation. Most people like to wallow in the pain and cry on the floor. Like, to me, I get pumped up. That's my Girl Stop Playin. Like, oh, you want to play? Like, you're better off leaving me alone, because now I have to, my shit on you moment is going to be through the work. It's going to be artistic. You're going to probably look up and see me every time you turn around. Like, I'm going to make it so beautiful. Like, that is what hypes me up. But I will say, big moments for me, especially 2016 was hard. 2017, things got a lot harder. And when I lost everything, especially not only losing everything, being in a deficit, being in debt, having my business, I walked away from a business with nothing and the debt.
What year was that?
That was 2017.
Okay.
Starting all over. At that time, I didn't have as big of a following. You gave me my first opportunity for a speaking engagement. I'll love you forever for that. Having angels that put me on stages and give me opportunities have been absolutely amazing. But it's really a God thing. Like, I remember a lot of people have played with me, men and women, but I remember being in a situation where I was uncomfortable. And we all know that when God wants to speak to you, he will make you very uncomfortable. And I told him, if you give me this opportunity, I will never stop moving my feet. I am not a person. I come from a mother who battles addiction. I noticed how people treated her when she came around, when she always had to ask for money, when she was in a bad spot, I noticed when she was in a good spot and she was the one handing out money and taking people places, how they treated her. As a child, I'm seeing this. But when she didn't have it, I remember pulling up to people's houses and them slamming the door in her face and cussing her out. And I thought, you know what? This isn't going to be my life. I don't want to ask people for anything. I don't ever want to that's fashion. I don't want to look the part. This is what I'm going to say to the world before I open my mouth. Like, this is going to be a thing. Like, and the pain has always been extreme motivation for me.
So much to unpack. So much to unpack, because I definitely, again, in preparing for this conversation, I'm like, I'm going to ask her what she think it is, and I'm going to say what I think it is. And I do feel like you also mentioned what I think it was, but I think it was the business breakup. I think, from the outside looking in, having to walk away from something that you built, something that you built on bad terms, like leave with nothing, knowing that this is still something you want to do, and then the other person's, like all of the actions that came after, I feel like that was fuel to your fire.
Yes. And also big lessons. Like, I had to learn hard lessons. Like, when I say it's not like it was all bad, it was good until it wasn't. Mm-hmm. And one of my dear friends taught me that, like, a business partnership is like the marriage without the love. When that common vision goes away, or when things happen, it's hard, and the love isn't there. You don't have that romantic love for the other person. So everything can just go left fast, and having to stand in that space and then try to build something else. And then while the other person is out here saying whatever about you, like, that's one thing. Like, with maturity, I can look back, and thankfully it all worked out for the both of us. And I'm happy. Like, and I hope she's happy too. Like, I don't even want bad for someone, because usually if they're doing bad, they're going to be still having a pitchfork after you. Like,
just go be happy, please. Leave me alone.
Yeah. And my friends are like, we got beef forever. But I'm like, no, like,
you know me, I got beef for everybody. Forever.
Yeah. I couldn't work from that space, but it did get me to boss up, because everybody was playing with me.
So what is your advice for business partnerships?
Have a common vision and communication. I feel like one of the biggest lessons with mine is you need to learn to talk to the person and not about the person, and make sure you know who you're venting to, because it's very easy to vent to other people and talk about the situation, but not communicating with the person. I used to not be the best communicator. And also, common goals, and really know who you're partnering with. When you see something in someone else, don't ever think it won't happen to you. When you see how they move with other people, don't think they won't do you like that, because trust me, when it comes down to money, they will do you like that.
Listen. I said something once, and people were like, that don't have nothing to do with nothing. But if you will cheat on your husband, mm-hmm. I don't want nothing to do with you. Because if you will disrespect, this is just like a business partner thing for me. If you would disrespect the most sacred relationship, that tells me that you would definitely disrespect our relationship. And I use the example of cheating because I think that people overlook morality so much. People are willing to partner with, align themselves with.
And they're okay with it from people that they love.
Exactly.
So the most beautiful people do the ugliest things.
They do. And it's so much gray area. So I love that.
But it's not across the board. So I will counter that and say people pick and choose who they do things things too. So we are all the villain in somebody's story. But to me, I know when I get to those pearly gates at the end and they play that replay, I know where I stood and I know I'm good. And I know my heart was always in the right place and I didn't take anything from anybody and I didn't do anybody dirty. I think the only thing I have learned is don't be a coward. And it's very hard for me to find my voice and not speak up for myself. But you can't fight demons. Like, they're not going to play fair.
That is so true, Nichole. And I think that becoming a grown-ass woman, like one of the biggest challenges is being assertive, speaking up for yourself, and establishing those boundaries. Unfortunately, these are all things that we usually learn like through some shit blows up in our face and then we're like, oh, maybe I needed to say something. Maybe I needed to talk about this. And you say communication was a part of your challenge. How in the world do you manage a team?
Oh my gosh. Managing people, we talk about money so much with business and we talk about so many other things, but managing a team is one of the hardest things that I have ever done because it sounds good. Again, and nobody even knows what this is that we are in now. We're in the social media era. We didn't used to see what our boss was doing every weekend. We didn't get to see, just like we're having these moments and everyone wants to stand next to you when it's good and you get the Forbes articles and you get all of the things. But when it's bad, it can get real funny. And also getting people to show up. Now everybody is in the closet entrepreneur and they want the security of working for you, but they also want to move as entrepreneurs. It's weird out here and it's hard as hell. Payroll, I see all of these memes and I see all of these conversations. So girl, we could really get into it because it's like a lot of media and what's put out there is from an employee mindset. People don't think about small business owners and where's all this money coming from?
I don't know, but I want some of it. Where is it?
Like the job security, you're supposed to provide all of these things.
Oh, as the business owner. I'm like, girl, they're giving out money. Yeah, no, nobody talks about what it takes to do all of, like the machine that's behind all the fabulousness that you get to see on Instagram. That it's one person that does not have a business degree, does not have any official background in business. Like we are literally...
And you're literally the last one to get paid. Unless you're on like profit first, you're supposed to get paid first.
If you even get paid, like the amount of conversations that I've had and the personal experience that I have had of wanting to make sure everybody else was good. Literally, because I'll figure my stuff out, but I am not about to owe you money. I'm not about to have, that part of it, we don't ever hear anybody talking about that.
That's one of my favorite chapters in my book. I don't owe nobody shit. Like learning that lesson, it's hard for me. I struggle with it now. I always think about everyone else and how everyone else is going to feel. Unfortunately, feelings can't go into your business all the time because there will be a lot of feelings. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, all that responsibility, all those numbers, that's all on you. Whether it's good or bad, everybody wants to get paid.
So how do you manage?
I've had to do transition. Just recently, I had to make some changes that broke my heart. I had to get rid of people that I absolutely love, but they were not good for the job. And I had to put my big girl panties on and be a boss. Now, Nichole, the friend, of course, I want to keep everyone around and I want to take everyone to lunch and I want to have these elaborate birthdays. I want to do all the things. But when you say no once, you will truly find out where you stand, especially in business. And when you can't be that yes person and you can't provide all the things, you will find out where you stand. And when it comes down to the work and you get to looking at it, when you can't pay, they ain't gonna stay. So you have to really I had to check myself also as a leader. You can expect the world of other people, but how are you leading them? And how are you communicating? And what type of foundation are you doing? I had to go back to the ground zero and pivot and get back in my business. Girl, I was twirling around for 2 years in Miami.
Pandemic, baby, look, post-pandemic, we was all twirling. And now we are sat down, reality check.
Yes, and people don't get that part of it. Like, I don't know if any of us are okay. Like, we all went through something very traumatic.
I think we are all, even the fact that it was so long ago, 4 years ago now, it doesn't even seem, it seems we were all traumatized. not especially entrepreneurs. We were all traumatized, but I think entrepreneurs, we got a special, like a special torture because we thought it was all good. At least I thought it was all good.
We thought it was going to be
until it
okay.
wasn't no more. Yeah, until it wasn't no more.
Yeah.
What are some of those moments that, because you mentioned losing it all, going into debt. That's not a conversation that we usually have.
No.
How do you get out of it? Like I had a conversation with someone, and he literally was talking about when his business went under and his bank account was like negative $50,000. What do you do from there? Like, what do you do?
I will say communication again. One of the biggest things is attack the debt. Like a lot of us like to ignore it until it's just out of control. Like I had, in my first business, I had debt with the IRS. Like they will literally come and clean your bank account out if you ignore them. So I would say list it and start attacking it. Most creditors will accept payment plans and give you options as long as you're communicating with them. If you go ghost, you're not answering them 800 numbers that are calling you. If you're not answering those scam likelies and they're trying to get in contact with you, they can get very aggressive. Mm-hmm. So I would say attack the debt. You might have to change your lifestyle. So I feel like you have to align those two, put the debt in order by biggest to smallest, and start attacking it. Change that lifestyle. We don't talk. You're right. We don't talk about this part.
Have you ever went through a season of ruining your credit for your business?
Of course. I've ruined it. I've risked it all for my business. But luckily, when I first started, I couldn't even get a credit card. I had to be bootstrapped and cash only what I had in my bank account. Like, it was awful. And there's things now. I will buy things for my business that I would never buy for myself. Mm-hmm. I have paid invoices where I'm like, this is a 6-figure invoice. I wouldn't give myself that in a lump sum at that time. But I will do anything for my business. It's just like a green monster. That is what I went through too. I had hired too many people. I got this big office. Sometimes scaling, if you do it too fast, it can take over, and we don't talk about happiness. Sometimes we're chasing these millions, but every level that you go up will take more from you. And you have to decide that. I had to look back and think, when's the last time I was happy? I'm talking about these numbers, but now I have to wake up at 5:30. I'm the last one to leave the office. Everybody else is getting paid. I'm adding more people to the team. My assistant feels like she's got an assistant. She's making runs and somebody's driving her around. Like, this is just a lot. Like, where's my happiness in all of this?
It got away from you, is what it sounds like. You got lost in the sauce. And that, I think, is a pretty uncomfortable place to be, because from the outside looking in, it looks like you got it all together. It looks like you have nothing to complain about. It looks like everything is just going great, but then you feel like you're dying on the inside.
The pressure, I had to call my doctor and I'm like, I'm having a heart attack. And she's like, that's anxiety. Like, it would be so much pressure where I felt like my heart was just going to stop.
I have said this so many times. I do not desire, like, solopreneur me. That is me. I am a I took on a team, and that literally almost took me out of business. It almost put me into a mental hospital. Like, not seriously, but it was such a stressful process of not knowing how to lead, not having the best communication skills, not being used to having to tell everybody all of my ideas, just not being able to just go execute when something comes to me. Like, that is a whole process that most of us are not prepared for, but the world is screaming, you can't do it all by yourself. You need to.
But also the right team.
The right team.
People.
The right team at the right time.
Both. That's a big one. Definitely. And firing people, I'd never even imagined what that is like. Like, that's extremely uncomfortable. Like, where is HR? Hire the HR people.
I was going to say, are you having those tough conversations yourself?
Some of them, because it's almost so you have to give people grace. Some people put a lot into, especially for what I do. So it would be almost disrespectful. And again, I'm too nice, and I'm that person where I don't want anybody to feel bad. But some conversations had to come from me. Like, it would be almost disrespectful for it to come from someone else with the appreciation for what they have given my business.
You had to put your big girl panties on.
Yes, because I am a Gemini. I will ghost you.
Me too. And that is bad for business.
When I get uncomfortable, it's like,
Goodbye.
Homer
Yes,
Simpson in
Homer
the
Simpson
bushes.
into the bushes. Goodbye. Get somebody else to do it. Absolutely. Shout out to my sis Arnita, because
love
Arnita was
Arnita.
the first entrepreneur that I knew like was actually friends with, doing business on the level that she was doing. And to be able to see what went on, to hear about the IRS bills and to see that level, she was who taught me that I don't want that. You know, she was really managing tens
Yeah,
of,
she's the one who helped me get my first place.
girl, that is an amount of pressure that we don't paint a realistic picture of. It just looks cute to have an office, but the insurance you got to get, I mean, it's so much that the internet is just leaving out of the conversation.
Yeah, you're the boss. And it sounds good. Everybody lied. All of you lied to me. I thought I was going to have a cute office with the gold pins and the coffee, and I was going to sit there and have my business. No, this is giving invoices. This is giving insurance. This is giving
slavery.
employees.
It's giving slavery. This is harder than that job I was working.
Because you clock out. Like, I don't remember the last time I clocked out. Like, even I was literally in Turks and Caicos in the middle of the ocean, and I was getting called to approve an invoice. And I was like, girl.
Girl, stop playing. So what is your strategy then, Nichole?
Had to hire some rock stars.
Knowing what not even for the team, but for the face.
I had to become a rock star. I am relentless.
How are you going to scale? Like, not scale, but what is the next step? You going to be Nichole Lynel, the Nichole Lynel, forever, ever, ever?
Not forever, but till it stops making me feel good and stops making me happy, or somebody comes with a really big bag to buy it from me.
No, I mean hiring your double.
My double?
Is that not a goal? Like getting somebody to be you.
Oh,
basically.
yes. I would love that. Like, I'm working on something to pivot.
Okay.
I'm working on another brand.
I'm just like, where's your freedom?
Where's your freedom? I have freedom, but I love this. Like, honestly, I love this shit. I love waking up. I love putting my makeup on. Else. Like, I love doing it. Like, hello. And I feel like for women, we need to girl stop playing on that. We don't have these conversations with men. We only do it to women.
Wait, which conversation?
About like the face thing. Like, that is age and everything. Like, worries me.
I think that I thought you didn't want to have the pressure of it only being you. So I'm just saying, what would the transition be?
That part, no, but I mean, being honest, I do have the other part. I'll be 40 this year in a couple months. And
are you ready for that?
No.
Oh, okay. Me
It snuck up on me. But I have heard it's pretty lit. The 30s were amazing. Only thing I want back from my 20s are like my boobs, but everything else, like I was crying in the closet. No, my 20s I had a ball. I'm glad there's no real footage. But I will say my 30s, life changed in my 30s. It got good. I had money. I had fun. I became a boss. I became relentless. I fell in love. 30s have been good to me. I hope the 40s are even better. But millennials, what are we going to do? I'm like, oh my gosh, we're the aunties and we're still on the internet. This is awkward.
We're the child. We are still too childish to be the parent. That's what I say to myself every day. I'm the mom.
We're the adults.
This is crazy.
This is wild.
It is insane. Okay, so Nicole's turning 40 this year. What is your wish for your 40th year?
I will say to get things more structured, and my fairy tale.
What's
I want the rest of the fairy tale. I want babies. I want to be married. And if not, I want to be a rich auntie. I need a private jet. I want to tell Garcon to prepare the sunroom. My girls are coming over. I want a vineyard. I want all of the things that are on my vision board. And above all, just health and happiness. Like, God has given me way more than I even dreamed at this point. Like, I literally wake up and do what I want to do. And by me doing what I want to do, I have created spaces for other people to do what they need to do. Like, I always talk about holding up the line. By me moving in my purpose, I have been able to hire a team. I've been able to hire all these other people. I'm able to pay my vendor invoices. Like, me doing what I do is so important. And on top of that, I am brave enough to share it with other women so that they can do it too. So my dream is just bigger and better, and whatever God has for me. Like, his dream for me has been bigger than anything that I have thought.
So why even limit him by putting some words to it?
Yes.
Okay, so can we get in your business now? We talked about business. Let's talk about you falling in love. Yes. So y'all know Nichole got a real public relationship, right? Nichole, the people on the outside of the internet want to know, how you put up with Tony? He seemed crazy on his internet, girl.
But the thing is, okay, I will say one thing that I admire the most about my baby is he has no filter and he is going to give it to you and he's going to be authentically himself. I will say, y'all be poking the bear. So y'all play with him and you throw your rocks and then you hide your hand. But I will say offline, we have a beautiful life. And what I say to most women, because I do have friends and they'll be like, ooh, girl. I'm like, no, mine is just public. And I have a beautiful life offline, which most people, a lot of couples, which we are finding out now, live a beautiful life on the internet, are getting dragged up and down the stairs at home. I have a beautiful, peaceful life that is amazing with a beautiful chocolate man that I love at home.
How do you deal with all that comes along with people's opinions on and offline? Like the people online, I feel like you get put into a lot of things that you're not necessarily.
I be catching strays.
You do. So that's another layer. It's like they was already playing with you just over here when you was minding your business.
Like, oh my gosh, why didn't he just get somebody who work at the bank or something? Like she wouldn't have to deal with this. But and I did not know the job was dirty when I took it. But I would say the love, like, I mean, life is good at home. The love, like all of it is good. It is a lot though. It's a lot that I get dragged into.
You don't ever be going like, okay, baby, wait a minute. Just put the phone down. Tony, put the phone down.
I really have to go look because I had to ask him the other day, like, when did you do this? Like, do you hit a corner and just like go cut somebody out real quick? But I do see it. Like I literally see people do stuff and then he goes off on him and they're like, oh my gosh, he went off on me. And I'm like, no, you actually cussed him out first. But okay, go off. And when you talk about morals and principles, that's not just on the internet. That's really who he is. Like he really operates off of doing what's right. And I feel like that's admirable. Like his delivery, I mean, I'm honest with him. Like, I don't think you should call women whatever, but he is one of those people who believes if they go low, I'm gonna go to hell. And that's what it is. Like, we're working on it. I'm praying very hard.
Let me not laugh. What's your prayer, Nichole? What's your prayer?
That God can touch his heart and he does not feel the need to cuss y'all out like that. But he's very good at it. Like, I'm not good. I wish I could like do it.
Yeah, do a good curse out. Okay, so how do you feel like your public relationship has affected your business at all, good or bad?
I feel like it does, but it really sucks for someone to miss out on all these fabulous clothes because why are you even looking at my man? I don't go to y'all's page and look. Like, I love you dearly, friend, but I've never looked for your man.
Thank you.
I haven't looked for him. I love to watch you guys together, but I do not follow him and keep up with him. That is what people do. You should definitely follow my baby. Go to Tony the Closer, buy you a program, buy a book, buy a t-shirt, do something. But I hate that. It has to be that way. Maybe it probably does, but
you haven't noticed. Not in a way that you have noticed.
I'm still making a ton of money online. So if it does, I just pray that God brings me more abundance and people know my heart. And really, like, if y'all know half the brands, how they really felt about you, and y'all be doing the marches and talking about how you're not going to shop there no more. And then 2 years later, you got it on again. So, but you want to hold me to this crazy standard just because you can see my man cuss people out every now and then.
It be every day, Nichole. How you feel about cancel culture? What's your take on cancel culture?
I think we're all delusional. I think that when you go into people's homes and we have real conversations, people just do it. It's all optics because have you seen change? Because we all saw those black squares. Have you seen the changes?
I have not seen a single change.
Have you, like, it almost feels like they're going backwards now and it almost feels a little bit worse. Like, but all the things that people, now I feel like at least I know where I stand. When we do see people express themselves as themselves, everyone is like, oh, but at least I know where to put you. At least I know where you stand. Now I feel like it's even worse because now they're hiding. Now everybody's hiding it. Nobody really wants to say how they feel about certain things. And what's wrong with having a difference of opinion? Are we not mature enough to let people have other opinions about things? Now it's like if you have an opinion, you have to be burned at the stake for it, and nobody is really honest. And how are we supposed to grow without having these type of debates and enlightening each other on other perspectives? It's like delusion. Like, I don't know.
We are definitely living in a state of delusion. Yeah, it's like groupthink. If you have an independent thought, then, you've separated yourself.
And that's
You put the target on your
dangerous.
back. It is. That is how the Holocaust happened. Groupthink. It's like nobody gonna say nothing. We just gonna go with the flow. And then you look up and...
Did you read The Emperor Wears No Clothes as a kid? I'm going to send it to you to read to your boys.
Okay.
Because it is one of those things where nobody wanted to say anything. And it's so funny that we're saying this, and my man is like the super scammer caller outer. But these men went and scammed the king and made him some invisible clothes, and his whole like all of his people, everyone was saying how fabulous it was because nobody wanted to say anything. And he walked the streets naked because nobody wanted to say anything because these scammers said, oh my gosh, you have on these fabulous clothes, and they were actually didn't make any clothes.
Yeah, that's the world
times that we live in right now.
That is the world we live
Everybody
in. Nobody's going to say anything. I just got to pretend like I am crazy. Like, you want me to pretend I'm crazy to go along with what society wants me to do. It's actual insanity. It is.
And I think it's dangerous, and it's insulting because we all know, like, I grew up in a black house, and my grandma is going to say it. I'm not even saying that's a black house. That's usually everybody grandma. It's the grandmas are going to say it. So I feel like now it's just like, oh, don't say that. But then you go home and say it.
But then, exactly, you're saying it in your group chat. But then if you say it in front of a camera, then you are
and the fake apologies. It's like it's a cycle. It's like you find it out. It's the fake apologies. You disappear off socials for a couple months, and then everybody forgets it because somebody else said something worse.
Have you ever taken a break from social media?
Not really.
I always wonder when people are like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna take a little 30-day." I be like, that sounds nice, but
I don't really. Okay, I will say I have a different way of following and engaging on social media. I don't follow people that I don't like. I don't keep, like I said, I gave up. That was the thing for my mental health at Woman Evolve.
Oh yes, what'd you give up? Oh, the burner.
The burner page where I would look at stuff, maybe see what somebody was saying about me or something. Nobody is gonna post what's going wrong. And why do I want to look at stuff that's negative? It's just going to make me feel bad. Mm-hmm. So, like, it's weird out here. Like, I don't know what happened in the pandemic, but it got really weird.
We got post-traumatic stress disorder, and it's making us act crazy. Okay, so Nichole Lynel is on the microphone. What do you want? What do the people need to know from you? You don't clap back at the people.
Every now and then I do. I've been doing better, friend.
Have you?
Yeah. I say it.
Tag me next time.
I don't. It's just I say things that make you think. Like I say, I'm gonna ask you, like, what would make you say that?
What would possess? Yeah, I think you have to make people feel stupid. Like that is the only way. You have to embarrass them with just a straight up question.
No, but I really wanted to know. Like sometimes I have like a why. Like why would you say that? Like I had a thing. Well, I'll give you an example. What people have trolled me for. So I had losses last year, and I had weight gain, and I was taking.
People trolled you for that?
So people trolled me for that. If I ever posted the awful things that people have said and done. It's insane. But just even that, like asking a woman, I never realized before it happened to me how that must feel. You never know what somebody's going through. So it's like you catch somebody with a little fupa or something, and it's like, oh, you're pregnant or whatever. You don't know what they just went through. But it's so weird. Like, what if I was? Like, you just ruined my fabulous announcement. Like, why do you feel the need to? We're in this whole era, and it's so crazy because of what my man is, but this whole like, expose and put somebody on blast. Like, what is that? Like,
I want to make a name for myself by riding off of your name. That's what I think it is. That's what I think it is.
Because I don't have gatekeeping. I'm like, some of these gates, some of y'all don't need to come through the gates. You don't know how to act.
Some do need to be kept. Yeah, I think it's also a level of people think they deserve access to you. Like people think that
it's
you
a fine
owe
line.
them an explanation for things.
It's a fine line when you share, because it's like when you share and you're transparent, then it opens the door for.
Then they want updates. Well, tell us what happened. Well, what happened next?
Well, I feel like that. So me with public relationships, I always feel like You gave us this whole relationship. We bought into it. We're invested. And now that you break up, you want privacy. No,
Tell us
spill
what
the
happened.
beans.
Yeah, tell us the story so we can be mad at him too. That is how it works. Do you feel like people feel like that about you? Like people want to
Oh
know
my
the
gosh.
ins and outs of your
People
business?
make up stuff all the time. Like they want to believe it's so whatever.
I
Like,
feel like I see a lot of supportive people.
yeah, there
your-
are way more bad than good. I mean, way more good, than bad. There's way more good. More people love it, so supportive, enjoy it. But I don't know. I'm just not that invested in other people's stuff. My life is lifing, okay? I'm out here fighting for my life. You think I'm going to be invested with somebody on the imaginary person? You guys literally have imaginary friends, like on the internet.
That's true. That's true. Sit with that. Sleep with that tonight. You talking to you cursing out your imaginary friends. I don't get the concept of like following people, engaging with content that I don't like that makes me upset or, enrages me in the way that it seems like, people have to be to say some of the things that they do. So I do think that that is probably insane.
Then too, we have went through the whole girl boss era. So somebody will idolize you, put you on a pedestal, and then they meet you in person. And whatever friendship that they feel like they have or deserve because you may DM, you may have access. And then when they don't get that, it's like that Stan song. It's like they literally feel upset now because you did not live up to how this played out in their mind, and they don't even realize that you don't know that person. Like organic relationships, it's hard now with social media. You literally are showing your life every day. Somebody can know you when your birthday is, your favorite color. They see you every single day, and then you may not have ever seen them at all.
I think, again, something else we don't ever hear the other side of, because we will see people who will say, oh, well, I met so-and-so and she had an attitude, or she was this or she was that. But how did you approach the situation? Where were y'all? What time of day? Was it early in the morning? She could have been having a bad day.
Look, I'll tell you right now, if you approach me outside of Instagram, I forget all about Instagram. I will be like, oh my gosh.
Who is that?
I'll be like, what is she looking at? Oh my gosh, like, is my hair messed up? Like, what is going on? I literally was in Whole Foods. This girl followed me for like 3 aisles before she said something. I feel like just say something, because I'm not like a celebrity for real. Like, I'm not like anything of that. So she followed me, and I'm thinking she about to come to me as a woman. She followed me for 3 aisles, and I'm like, here we go. So she's like, look, I gotta tell you, I love you. I'm like, girl, you could have said that 3
I
aisles
was about to call
ago.
the police, man. What are you doing? That's hilarious.
I don't remember the internet, and I'm socially awkward as hell, girl. I will.
Me too. So don't come up to me. If you see me in real life, please
Come
don't
up to me and say hi. I love it.
I don't. It makes me feel so weird.
Really? I love it if you say something. It's better than just staring.
Well, no, don't stare. Yeah, that's
if you finally say something, I'm probably gonna be like, happy birthday. Like I don't know.
But then I think my problem is getting out of it. How do I get out of this? Like if you come over and you start this engage with me.
You personalize, you humanize the person. Like I always say, like, what's your name? Like, what do you do? Like, oh my gosh, so nice to meet you.
Nichole was sweet. You are such a sweet person. I'd be wanting to run out the door.
Especially my girls. Like they have changed my life. Like literally I am Nichole Lynel because I'm not supposed to, like statistically, I'm not supposed to be this. But women literally have changed my life. They have shown up for me in ways. How could I not? Like, how could I not?
Put my petty little introvert shit aside. You are right.
Yes. My grandma always said, God didn't make you this beautiful for nothing.
Well, I think that's a pretty great place to end this conversation. Wow. Okay. Not really, though, because you have to tell the people all of the things. I think you got some classes. I saw, like, what's coming down the pipeline? Where can people support what you got going on?
So I am Nichole Lynel. If you are looking for amazing pieces for the glamorous girl on the go, you can shop Nichole Lynel. You can go to NL The Label to find pieces that I designed myself. You can go to NicholeLynel.com to get my workbook. And you could also tap the link in my bio to come to my next class. It's absolutely amazing. I've been doing free training every Wednesday. My boo is an amazing coach. He has me going on with the digital products. And I am doing a 4-week course on how to build your online boutique.
I love it. I know you do. Do you still do your fashion tour, the tour that you do?
Yeah, the workday workshop. You can have a workday with me.
You are fabulous. So all of the fashionable girls out there, check out Nichole Lynel. If you are not fashionable, you still need to check out Nichole Lynel. Go to her online store, pick up some pieces. I got to send you some pictures because I finally wore some things.
Yay, I wanna
got
see.
like a frilly skirt. Things that are not like my typical. Nichole Lynel has all of the fabulous things. So check her out. Make sure you follow on Instagram. But if you got something mean to say, keep it to yourself because I'm going to get the burner account, okay? She going to give me her access code and I'm coming for you. All right, y'all. Make sure you share this episode, subscribe to the channel, and if you happen to be listening on Apple or Spotify, leave your girl a 5-star review, and I'll catch you next week. So if you made it this far, I just know you loved that episode. Well, what you did not know is that we recorded it right here in ATL at Elevate Studios. Yes, your girl has her own studio, y'all, and it's not just for me. I'm opening it up for you too. So if you have a podcast, if you are a vlogger, a YouTuber, or a content creator, and you are looking for a professional studio to record your content, or you want to hire me and my team to fully produce your content, make sure you check out the show notes below or log on to elevateagency.com.